Huge game, I should say, coming up, not only for Wales, but for Gareth Bale. Let me clarify, they can take another step towards securing a top two finish in their World Cup qualifying group when they host Belarus later on today. Now, we know they're already guaranteed a playoff place because of how they fared in their Nations League group last year. But if they were to finish second in their World Cup qualifying group, it would mean another team from the Nations League would then get into the playoffs, which I believe would be the Czech Republic as things stand. But it's all very much focus on Gareth Bale, Cass, because he is on the verge of joining a select few of Wales football internationals to make it a century of appearances. It's only Chris Gunter on the men's side that have done it, but on the women's side, there's Jess Fishlock, Sophie Ingle, Lauren Dykes, for example, who've all made it to 100 and beyond. It is a remarkable achievement for any player to have played 100 times for their country. And Gareth Bale is just an exceptional talent who perhaps still gets a lot of critics, and maybe more in Spain than anywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Gareth as a left-back at Southampton when he first got on his start of his career, and great free kick taker, dead ball situations, brilliant. Then Tottenham obviously bought him and didn't initially start as well as I think one would have liked. He was transformed by Harry Redknapp to a winger, scared the life out of everybody. I think Maicon, the Inter Milan defender, Brazilian at the time, who ended his career nearly overnight when he got an hat-trick there. And I think, look, there's no one done better than Gareth Bale who's gone abroad. No one. He's won, I think it's 4 Champions League, isn't it?
4 Champions League, 2 La Ligas, 1 Copa del Rey, 3 Club World Cups, 2 European Super Cups as well.
£100 million or 90 odd million pound, 100 million euros they paid for him. I think he's been outstanding since he's gone there. I think the one thing that's always stood out for me about Gareth, because it's come so naturally to him of how good he can be, sometimes if it's effortless, he doesn't have to try as hard as everybody else. I mean, he was a very good cricketer. He's a very good golfer, and you can see he adapts to all sorts of sports, and sport comes quite natural to Gareth.
It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, incredibly annoying.
Everything.
But he is a player that's done incredibly well. And I think, the fact that he's got 200 caps, and look, Wales have had some great players in the past. Mark Hughes, Ian Rush, Dean Saunders, and many more. Giggs, great players. I think a lot of them haven't got 100 caps. And he's achieved that because he could have quite easily pulled out a lot of squads. Because the ones I just mentioned, some of them did. They were playing for clubs like Manchester United and Liverpool, where they probably didn't have to go as once, was deemed as important. He's never done that. He seems to have shown up nearly for every time he's been called up.
Well, as we know, with that flag, if you remember that he was holding up, it was Wales, Golf, Madrid in that order. That is particularly why a lot of Real Madrid fans perhaps aren't enamoured with Gareth Bale. But yeah, you're absolutely right. You sense it whenever you see him in a Wales shirt or when he's talking about Wales. There is a pride of putting on that red shirt, playing for the Dragon, playing for Welsh pride. And he's always been a player that's pretty much delivered for Wales.
What's he
as
got,
well.
36 goals?
36 goals.
Is it 36?
Yeah, surpassing Ian Rush's previous record of 28, so he's their record goal scorer as things stand, Yeah,
he's done a hell of a lot in his career, and he's still relatively a young man. If you think he's 32 years old, he's still got another couple of years in. I don't know. His performance at Tottenham last season typified Gareth for me. You saw moments of absolute quality, a fantastic footballer, but he's not quite as quick and not quite as hungry. Well, that's quite normal. And I think that was the sort of performance you saw at Madrid at times. And I think that's why the Madrid fans fell out of love with Gareth, because he done brilliantly for them.
And that loan spell here at Tottenham last season, as you just
he scored a lot of goals in that period. About 16 goals for Spurs in that period.
But as you pointed out, it wasn't 100%. Every game that we saw him play. Yeah,
frustration.
There were reasons as to why he didn't play every game. That is obviously down to Jose Mourinho.
Fit when he first got there.
There was a lot of factors you could bring into it, I'm sure. But perhaps that spell as well hasn't necessarily helped, do you think? Has it sort of muddied the recognition that he deserves over here as well?
Yeah, I think at 32 years old, he's made a hell of a lot of money. There was a time that Gareth should have gone to Madrid and said, look, let's come to an agreement over my wages. let me go and I want to go and play football for someone. And I'll take a huge cut in salary. Now, the agent might tell you differently and other people might say in the game, take it every penny you're owed. You can't buy time in football. You know, your football years are very important. Playing, if you love playing football, just going out and playing week in, week out is very important. And he's earned enough money not to think about other issues. You know, find himself a club. Because he would have got one. He would have got a very good club to go to. It would have had to have taken a big cut in wages, but it would have, for me, it would have been well worth it to continue his legacy.
Well, he made his debut at 16 years, 315 days, the youngest debutant for Wales. That was back in 2006. As we said, he's scored 36 goals in his career so far for Wales. When he's been needed, he's often been there to deliver for them, scoring 3 so far in this qualifying campaign. Don't forget, he scored 7 in that campaign that got them to Euro 2016 as they reached the semi-finals as well. And he looks to make his 100th appearance today against Belarus.